We don't charge any money for that.
Okay, so I'll come back to you later, and I would like you to tell us, the general public, what is it that we all stand to benefit with the provision of these 307 ambulances? How will this add to the fleet that you already have? What will the final figure after today turn out to be across the country? So you chew on that whilst we go into the van and see what services are provided here. So I'll go in with the dudes and Mr. Damansuglu. So you tell us. So we are currently in the van. This is one of the 307 ambulances that have been brought into the country, which shortly will be commissioned and distributed to all constituencies across the country. But indeed, what are these ambulances made of? What kind of services can these ambulances offer? You tell me, Mike.
Yes, you see, this particular ambulance or these ambulances that have just been brought into the country is a state-of-the-art ambulance. You know, if you compare this particular ambulance with the T5, that is the VW that was imported into the country somewhere in 2012, you will see that it is more enhanced, because first, we are not having fetal monitor. This is the fetal monitor. If you are transporting a pregnant woman, with this fetal monitor, you are able to listen to the breath, the lung sounds, or you are able to give all the interventions you need. Oximeters enable us to take the oxygen saturation in the blood of the patient to determine whether how much oxygen you should deliver. For instance, if we were transporting a patient who is diabetic, it was difficult to check the glucose or the sugar level. But these days, with these ambulances, we have all those, gadgets and nets. And not only that, because you can see many of them, and I will just leave some for my colleagues to continue.
Yes, but before then, I have a question. I know that whilst you are transporting a patient from one point to another, you may need to communicate with the receiving hospital or medical facility. Are there any gadgets that will enable you contact a doctor and tell him the kind of situation you have at hand and which he should prepare for?
Sure.
Yes.
You can see that they have fixed all the gadgets over there.
Right.
We have the communication, go test and everything in there. You can see there's one telephone here. The driver has one just by him. So whatever the medics are in here and the medic driver, if the condition is getting bad, the medics here can talk in the state of the arts. Emergency medical services are inside these ambulances. They are more equipped. They are just mini theater or mini hospitals, and we are so blessed to have them.
And that sometimes you are in an ambulance, but even oxygen is.
So in pre-hospital care, oxygen is supposed to provide, actually, because of the thing is locked. Yeah, so we have 2 oxygen cylinders here. We're supposed to administer oxygen from. So at this point, we actually have 2 twins, and you need to give all of them oxygen. So they made provision for 2 that you can actually give. So in this particular ambulance, it is well equipped, and the cylinder is not 1, it's actually 2. So when one is exhausted, then you go onto the other one. You can immediately actually make provision for the next one when you hand over your patient. So with this one,
so I do hope we get the opportunity to speak again at the tail end of the ceremony. There's a ceremony here in the country. The president of BBC will bring you full details of the commissioning. We'll continue to bring you updates. We'll take you over to the main days where, as soon as the president arrives, we'll have the...
Each constituency receive 1 ambulance each from the...
in procuring these new ambulances, because having done some research in the continent, this is the highest fleet any government has procured at any point in time.
We have prepared ourselves as the agency that is going to work with these vehicles. We have trained some of our emergency medical technicians, passed out about 600 last December. We are in the process of recruiting the cohort of medical technicians so that every single improve our emergency care significantly and ensure that we are providing pre-hospital care to our people. This is part of what we call delivering to the manifesto pledges.
On behalf of His Excellency the President, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, 307 ambulances. We thank you all and God bless us all. God bless Mother Ghana. Thank you all.
This is GBC's coverage of the commissioning and distribution of the 307 ambulances that have been procured by the government for distribution to the rest. And the ambulances will be dispatched a short while ago. We had
Ladies and gentlemen, may I ask you to rise wherever you are? Minister for Health, Minister for Special Development Initiative, please join us as we receive His Excellency the President of the Republic.
Ceremony. 7 ambulances procured by our anthem, as is customary in Ghana during occasions such as these. Of course, there's always the opening prayer and a closing the program.
Shortly, His Excellency the President will inspect a guard of honor mounted by the Emergency Medical Technicians Unit of the National Ambulance Service.
The Minister of Information announced
the parade commander makes his way
of the parade.
2 advanced is a Ghana National Fire Service Band. Ready, special. Advanced Medical Technician Slater Davoy Anini reporting. Mr. President.
His Excellency the President will now inspect the guard of honor mounted by the Emergency Medical Technicians Unit of the National Ambulance Service. May we ask media persons flying drones, you have 160 seconds to land your drones. Media persons flying drones, you have 160 seconds to land your drones, or else they will be landed for you. Media persons flying drones, land your drones, else they will be landed for you.
The guard of honor mounted by personnel of the National Ambulance Service. They are known as Emergency Medical Technicians. Of course, the ceremony comes after an earlier postponement from January 6, 2020 to today, Tuesday, 28th January, over claims that the training of emergency medical technicians and installation of tracking devices were still ongoing at the time.
Well, we have been told that unlike the previous set of ambulances, these new ambulances have been insured, and they were treated like any other government vehicles, and because they have been insured now, that becomes something we should be happy about. In the past, we were told that we used to have a lot of challenges. For example, with this comprehensive insurance, it takes away the burden of the case where there is an accident.
The four of them will make their way towards where the ambulances are parked. The Chief of Staff will join as well. They will make their way to where the ambulances are parked to cut the ribbon, and Reverend Father Andrew Campbell will say a prayer as we commission one as a symbolic gesture for the 307. We will remain and watch on the screens. We will remain and watch on the screens from wherever we are. Mr. President, we are informed that the very ambulance you will be entering is that of the whole West constituency. The whole West constituency ambulance is that which is closest and that which you would be inspecting. And when we are done, the ambulance will move from here, the Black Star Square, to the various parts of the country.
Two. Two, check, 1, 2.
Mr. President.
2.
Microphone. Christ our Lord.
Mr. President is entering the whole West ambulance, the whole West constituency ambulance for that symbolic inspection. The whole West constituency ambulance, one of the 275 ambulances that are going to constituencies for that symbolic inspection and interacting with the EMTs there. Mr. President, next to the whole West ambulance is the Ebuakwa South constituency ambulance, a constituency I'm sure you are very familiar with in your days as Member of Parliament. And next to that of Ebuakwa South, you will find that of Ofonse Eyirebi constituency. I'm only just explaining the ambulances that are parked there. So he's entering the whole West ambulance. Next to that is the Ebuakwa South constituency ambulance.
We will do that. Thank you very much.
307. If you do not remember anything after today, remember the number 307. The single largest fleet of ambulances to support pre-hospital emergency medical care in the Republic of Ghana to date. The Akufo-Addo administration, true to its word, today dispatches to 275 constituencies and additional high incident centers 307 of those ambulances. Mr. President is returning to his seat. Let's give him a big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. President, you saw the whole West ambulance. I'm sure next to it you saw the Ebuakwa South constituency ambulance. And next to Ebuakwa South, the Ofuasi Ayebi constituency ambulance as well.
Thanks for watching, and please don't forget to subscribe and share for more news updates.